Just when I think I'm out, this team pulls me back in. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how this team does it. They are driving me crazy. The Edmonton Oilers, they're driving me crazy right now, but they got the 2 points. And I always say, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And tonight it's 2 points. They get off on the right track on the road trip. 2-1 in overtime. It was sketchy. The Oilers dominated for probably 45 minutes of this game, sitting on a 1-goal lead in the third period. Chris Knobloch, once again, sitting on the lead, not producing enough in the third period with the lead. Philly ties it. And then, of course, the game was already tied. Sorry. I should say the Oilers were on offense until Philly made it a tie game in the second period on the power play. It was late in the second period. And then the Oilers sat back. The third period, I think Edmonton had 5 shots on net, but they come out with the win. I'm exhausted watching this team because the highs and the lows, just got to remember, it's just a game. It's just a game. Let's all just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We got the victory chain on. I said the Oilers need to win 4 games on this road trip for it to be a success. 1 out of 4 is now complete. Right now they have some wiggle room, some breathing room here. Tomorrow, it doesn't get any easier. They have a rematch against Columbus, who they also recently just beat in overtime. So that rematch, Columbus, they're going to play Edmonton hard tomorrow night. They're going to really, really, really want to get those points back as they're fighting for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference right now. If you enjoyed today's fan reaction, by the way, please make sure to hit that like button. And if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 8,000 subscribers. We are this close to 8,000. And I'm going to tell you all right now, before we get into, dissecting how this game went, we'll do the edge visualizer for the 2 Oilers goals. Jack Roslovic, by the way, incredible. Can we give Jack Roslovic the Trent Frederic contract, please? Matthew Savoie got a chance on the top line. He had 2 assists tonight. Love that for Matthew Savoie. It'll be interesting to see where he slots in with Hyman coming back either tomorrow or Saturday. So I'm going to tell everyone right now, I'm going to be completely honest with all of you, every single one of you watching at home. If the Oilers had lost this game in the third period off of the goal that eventually was determined to be offside, I'm telling you right now, that crash out was going to be legendary. I was crashing out hard at seeing the Oilers give up the lead in regulation. And then when I saw that it was being reviewed for offside, that hope came back. But my God, this team, they are playing with fire right now. They cannot continue to play like this and expect to pile on the wins this season. They need more offense. They desperately need offense. Draisaitl, he's gone a little cold right now. Connor McDavid, he really was the spark against Columbus the other night, that comeback win. But there is zero depth on this team right now. The bottom 6 is more than useless. Like, more than useless. You could literally put pylons on the ice in place of half the bottom 6 right now, and they would probably be more effective at breaking up plays and getting the puck in the offensive zone than what we're currently seeing. And that's no offense to guys like Ike Howard or Matthias Janmark or Trent Frederic or Adam Henrique or whoever else is in that bottom 6. I'm not trying to disrespect them here. But that's the reality. Edmonton's bottom 6 is absolutely putrid. Now, Zach Hyman returning soon, that is going to help because that's going to bump some guys in and out. That's going to bump guys down. Mangiapane, he's going to get bumped down. That's going to help the depth situation. But my God, man, this team, I just want to see them score 4 or 5 goals, win comfortably 4-1 or 5-2 or just something. Something. And I will say, on a positive note, Stu Skinner, pretty good game tonight. We're happy with Stu. An over 900 save percentage. That's all. Hey, that's all we asked for. That's all we asked for, folks. And that's what we were given tonight. And of course, the Oilers win because when the Oilers get above 900 save percentage, they are undefeated. They are now 5-0 in games where they get a save percentage of 900 or higher. So thank you, Stu. Made some big saves early in the first period when the Oilers were getting their legs from under them. And then the Oilers completely took over the game. Philly tied it. We're going to go over the edge visualizer. Then we're going to go over the money puck and some of the advanced analytics. And then I'll answer a few of your questions that you submitted to me on Twitter or X.com. And then we are going to wrap things up. There will be no day after discussion tomorrow because tomorrow morning I have to get another pregame report up for the game against Columbus. It's a quick turnaround here. Back-to-back games. Once again, there are a lot of back-to-backs this month for the Edmonton Oilers. Just this season in general. The schedule's been absolutely wild for Edmonton and for a lot of teams too. So taking a look at the edge visualizer and some of the box score stats here for the Oilers. Shots on goal, Edmonton vastly outshot the Philadelphia Flyers 32-21. However, after the second period, Philly outshot Edmonton 10-7. They outshot them 9-5 in the third. The Oilers just couldn't generate anything in that third period. Credit to Stu, credit to the team for finding a way to get the job done. It was an ugly third period. They almost came out with the loss in regulation, but then they end up with the 2 points. Flyers fans probably pretty unhappy. Unfortunately, the offside rule is what it is. That's a tough one. At least Michkov scored again. Love Matvei Michkov, folks. He was my player to watch for the Philadelphia Flyers, and he did score on the power play. Evan Bouchard made it 1-0 Edmonton late in the first period. The Oilers were absolutely buzzing. Savoie and McDavid, Mangiapane, they were all over the forecheck. McDavid centers it, and then Bouchard with an absolute bomb, a Bouch bomb, and he beats Dan Vladar. Blocker side, 1-0 Edmonton. Michkov scores on the power play late in the second. And then the third period, no scoring, but in overtime, Jack Roslovic, for the second consecutive game, scores the game winner in OT. The only other Oiler to score in consecutive overtimes is Andrew Cogliano, and that was back in 2008, I believe. I think Cogliano ended up scoring overtime goals in 3 consecutive games, which is an Oiler record, and I believe an NHL record. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I do remember watching Cogliano doing that back in the day, though, back when the Decade of Darkness was just beginning and we didn't know it was the Decade of Darkness. Matthew Savoie, he comes in 2-0 with Roslovic. He does a great job getting Vladar to bite, and then he passes it over. Roslovic with the 1T beats Vladar, gives the Oilers the win. Jack Roslovic, fantastic pickup from Stan Bowman. Fantastic. Yes, Roslovic, he initially said no to the Edmonton Oilers during free agency. That is very publicly known. He turned down whatever the contract offer was from Edmonton during free agency. He said no. Obviously, nobody signed him. I don't know what his asking price was. But Roslovic now, again, he's in another contract year. He keeps producing like this. The man is going to get paid, and I really wish the Oilers could just give Roslovic that Trent Frederic contract. My goodness gracious, Trent Frederic, please get something going. Please, please, please get something going. At least Frederic is more engaged. I did not like the late penalty that he took by running into Vladar late in the third period. That gave the Flyers a power play. But I would rather a player that's at least engaged instead of not engaged at all. If we take a look at the time on ice here, Draisaitl led the way, 22:07, McDavid, 21:34. This is more reasonable to me. I don't mind this. They're not playing 24 or 25 minutes. I will take this all day. Roslovic, 20 minutes. Adam Henrique probably shouldn't be playing more than Podkolzin, probably shouldn't be playing more than Savoie. What are we doing here? What is Adam Henrique doing way up here in the time on ice? Let's try and limit that next time. Howard only played 7:38. I am really concerned that when Hyman is back, they are going to take Howard out. But I do have a projected lines, or at least the lines that I would roll with when Hyman is back. We'll also talk about that before the end of this video. Bouchard led all defensemen in time on ice for Edmonton, 23:45. Played a really good game. I liked Bouchard's game a lot. Nurse was good until he wasn't. That third period, Darnell Nurse just could not get a breakout pass. He had one horrific turnover that led to a high danger chance in the high slot. Luckily, Philly did not score on it, but oh my goodness gracious, Darnell Nurse is one of those players where I just wish they could, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to say it. The Oilers won. We're going to stay positive here. I'm not going to say it. 9:52 for Stu. We love to see that. That's a great night for Stuart Skinner. Credit where it's due. Stuart Skinner, he got the job done tonight. He made saves early in the game when the Oilers were slow out of the gate, and then he made saves late in the game. So he made saves, 2 very important parts of this game. And then the goal that did beat him, that eventually got overturned, that puck was deflected in. There was nothing Stu could have done on that deflection. If fans would have blamed Stu, if the team had lost, that would have been very upsetting because it was a night where Stu played pretty good for Edmonton. He didn't have to be, he wasn't super busy. The Oilers didn't give up a ton of high danger chances, but I am very happy that they got the job done. Mangiapane, he's got to move down the lineup. Wasn't happy with his game. Curtis Lazar, I don't think I even see him on the ice ever. He's just completely invisible right now. Taking a look at the money puck, we'll take a look at the deserve to win-o-meter here. Let's see who was on top. It was the Edmonton Oilers. 62.7% of the time they would win this hockey game, at least according to their simulations, based on chances, expected goals, all that good stuff. Remember, take all of that with a grain of salt. I like looking at the advanced analytics because I think it is fun, and it is something to look at as a long-term thing, not short-term, not one-game samples. Always take this stuff with a grain of salt, even though I always preach advanced analytics. Expected goals in all situations tonight, 3.49 for Edmonton, 2.78 for the Philadelphia Flyers. But if you take a look at this chart here, Edmonton made it 1-0 second period. They were really, really pushing. And then look at, as soon as Philly scored their one goal, the Oilers, weren't generating anything, and the Flyers were the ones who were pushing. The Oilers, they gave up one goal, and Edmonton suddenly wasn't able to establish their forecheck and their cycle game and attack off the rush like they had earlier. Now, I don't know if that is coached in the team. I don't know if they were told in the second intermission, because it was a tie game, hey, let's play not to lose. I would rather see the team play to win. The first 40 minutes of this game for Edmonton I thought was fantastic. That third period is not how you're going to defend leads in this league. Teams are too good. Teams are far too good to just defend like that. If we take a look at the expected goals percentage for the Oilers players, Howard actually led the way, 72.98%. Savoie was right next to him, 73.01%. Love to see that. Adam Henrique actually did have a good night. So you know what? Maybe the coaches saw the deserve to win meter and Adam Henrique having a good night in the expected goal department. They're like, you know what? Adam Henrique gets to have a lot of ice time tonight. Ty Emberson, he took a bad penalty. Didn't really do a whole lot tonight. Probably Regula gets in soon. I imagine when Hyman gets back too, the team is going to have to make a move. They're going to have to make some kind of roster decision, whether you're trading one of your defensemen, whether you're sending one or two guys down. They're going to have to do something to get the salary cap to work here. So Stan Bowman likely working the phones right now. If we take a look at the goal saved above expected for Stuart Skinner, plus 1.78. You love to see that. Anything in the positives is good, and Stu almost had 2 goals saved above expected, which is a terrific night for Stu. So credit where it's due for Stu. Love to see it. Now, consistency. Can Calvin Pickard follow this up tomorrow against Columbus? I don't have a lot of faith in Calvin Pickard right now. He's essentially been unplayable. He has a 4 goals against average and like an .830 save percentage this season. Hopefully Calvin Pickard tomorrow against the Columbus Blue Jackets can get the job done. Now let's take a look at some of the questions and comments y'all have sent to me here. Only a few. There's not too many. So David said, a follow-up to the comment about Roslovic. Do you think Hyman starts on line 1, or do you think they'll ease him into it? Also, with the power play, do you think they'll slot him right back and give Roslovic the spot, or alternate, depending on how the game's going? I think Hyman immediately gets to go back on PP1, but the fact that Roslovic is effective on the power play is a good sign. Maybe, depending on how Hyman is. I think they really like Hyman's net front presence. I think Roslovic, you can start to give him a lot more ice time 5-on-5. Hyman, you can shelter him a little bit, maybe not give Hyman as much 5-on-5 time. I think that's where the power play might suit him, but we will take a look at the projected lines, at least what I would go with, in a couple minutes here. Trent said, holy, I am shocked. Lowest low to highest high within 5 minutes. Get some offense, please. I agree. Alex asked, when are you ordering your Roslovic jersey? Not in the cards yet, but you never know. Right now it's Janmark, if he gets a hat trick. That seems to be the only jersey that seems to be kind of on the burner right now. So if Janmark gets a hat trick, which probably does not happen at any point for the rest of his career, but boy, oh boy, would I love to be proven wrong. Corey says, Oilers were lucky that Tippett kicked his own team by going offside, and you called Roslovic heating up. He's on fire. Yes, Roslovic is doing very, very well. Thoughts on where Roslovic should go when Hyman's back? You know what? A lot of you are asking about that. Let's take a look. Projected lines with Zach Hyman. Now, the top line, I really do like Savoie with McDavid and Hyman. I think Savoie deserves to stay in that top 6. He is doing everything right. He has done nothing to deserve to be taken out of the top 6 for Zach Hyman. I think Savoie with McDavid, I think they play good together. And I think Savoie with McDavid and Hyman, I think that'll be a terrific first line. Yes, when Nugent-Hopkins comes back, we're going to have to figure that out too. On the second line, Podkolzin, Draisaitl, and Roslovic, I like this line a lot. Keep them together. They do a really, really good job, at least so far. I'd like to see them stick. Third line, I bumped Mangiapane from the first line down the third line with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederic. I think Mangiapane can add a little bit more sandpaper to that bottom 6, and then maybe also help spark some offense, because the bottom 6 right now, complete black hole. Fourth line, Janmark, Philp, and Howard, and then you have Tomaszek and Lazar as the extra forwards. Nuge is still out at least a week. Hyman probably plays Saturday, but these are kind of my own projections with Zach Hyman. We'll have to see how it shakes out, though. I don't think he gets in the lineup tomorrow against Columbus, but we'll find out in the morning, and you'll probably find out when I do my pregame report. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're looking forward to that daily Oilers content here on the Austin Hockey YouTube channel. Thank you all for your support as always. You are all amazing. Could not do this without you, so thank you all so much. Leave a like before you head out. Tell someone you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. We'll see you tomorrow morning, folks. Take care.